Hey all, if anybody's going to join me, I'll give it a second or two to see if anybody happens to pop in. It is a windy Sunday afternoon. At least it's halfway warm. I got out for a little bit today. I was going to put the clamp on my new clamp on the wheelchair and use the microphone and just didn't get a chance to be able to do that. So I hopped back into bed. My arm started getting a little bit sore. Hey there, whoever jumped in. Nice to have you online. So, yeah, it's definitely a Sunday afternoon. This has been a crazy, wild, and wacky week for all the streamers and everybody in SPTV land. It's just been nuts. So, hey, on Insomniac, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, it's just been crazy. I just can't believe all that's happened. Hi, Kathy. How are you tonight? Nice to see you. Hey, Kellyanne. Oh, I would love to chat with you too, Kellyanne. Give me an email sometime. Hi, CJ. CJ, thank you so much again. And thank you so much for the microphone. It works perfect. I didn't get to use it today. I wanted to. I was just saying that I thought maybe I'd be able to get out and use it today. Yeah, it definitely is PTSD from all the police and guard interaction, but how crazy it's been this week. Just and I wanted to address that, but it's been so nuts that, you know, everything with the encampment and how what a whirlwind that was. Everybody that took their time in their lives and watched all night. I know Heather was there and Lisa and Rib Guy, Rib Dog, and DOA was gone and Danny was gone because they got the TROs. Thank you. Yeah, I do like them. I definitely like them. And how crazy, and then all of a sudden everybody are bad actors and who's a bad actor, and yeah, tons, way too much drama. Way too much drama. And I don't really I need to stay focused on my lane. I know what I need to do. Shoot, I never know who to trust anyways. I think personally, I think in my eyes, you have my trust until you don't have my trust. Hey, King's Kid, you know, you don't expect anybody to do you wrong or to do bad or to hurt you, and I'm just not about being suspicious of anybody. Maybe that's a fault, I don't know. I know when I talk with Michael and Serge, you know, Serge is always suspicious and vets people first before he'll talk with them or meet with them, right? It is a lot of stress, that's definitely for sure. And I guess I've just always lived the opposite way where I haven't really had to be suspecting of people until you show your colors. And then once you show your colors, you know, I'll be cordial to you, but you're not my best friend or you're not going to come over for supper, that's for sure. So it just really is just a little bit different. So I've got sorry about that. Wanted to peek in. So uh, I'm not one to have anybody tell me who I can and can't associate with. I need to have the information. Was there an update from my Tony and Natalie, or are you asking if there's an update, buddy? Buddy's dad, Conroe, Texas. If there is an update about my Tony and Natalie, I would love to hear it. That's certainly one excuse me while I get changed here. Um, my heart goes out to Natalie. In fact, I was going to put a link from Natalie's GoFundMe. I have it in my community page, but I also put it in the chat here. Cancer's a bugger. I lost my dad to cancer. In fact, I've lost everybody except for two people of my family all around have ever died of cancer. And it's a struggle. It's a bummer. I've got such empathy and heartfelt condolences for what's happening with Tony. Yeah, you're right. Her focus has to be with Tony. To heck with us right now. And we just need to give them all the good vibes that we can. You know, I happen to be Christian. I happen to believe in God, and not everybody does, and that's okay. If that's not your thing, that's fine. If you can just give, oh, she did a community note 20 minutes ago. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go over there and see what it has to say. Um, Let me look to see what it says. Oh, she did. It was 21 minutes ago. She says, my Tony has been on a ventilator for 2 days in the ICU. I'm staying with him tonight and regrouping with my doctors tomorrow. Thank you all for your tremendous support, love, prayers, and healing vibes. Comfort and peace is what I want for this incredible human. I love you, my Tony. Yep, she just needs comfort and peace. You know, I don't know if you can tell that I was on a ventilator for about 6 weeks. And of course, I regained my ability to breathe again. But being intubated is really tough. It's really tough on the family. You know, my family went through so much. They cried, and I would hear them pray, and I would hear them be around me, even when I was in my coma. And it was truly tough. I'm glad, of course, the way it worked out, but it's harder on the family in that case. And all huge hugs to Natalie. I'm not really good with doing this kind of stuff. I'm really horrible at it actually. It is very heartbreaking. No, nobody wants him to suffer at all. Not at all. So with that, um, just as I said, with the craziness, you know, I felt so bad. I know Aaron was doing the update the other day. Was it yesterday? Boy, it just feels like a lifetime ago already, huh? When DOA had said something. Yeah, I posted the GoFundMe, um, uh, wondering how I link it. I don't know if I can link it. I mean, I can link it, but I'm wondering if I can post the link to where it's always up top. There's another copy of it just in case you didn't see it from upwards. Yeah, Amy, you are. What type of nurse are you, Amy? What's your specialty? I know you've probably told me before, but I don't remember. Thanks, Lily. But to be real honest, I don't know how, I'm on StreamYard, so I don't know how to do that, CJ. Maybe as a banner? Create a banner. Paste. Okay. Well, I did it as a banner. Yeah, I haven't figured out how to pin the comment to the top yet. So we're just going to do it as a banner for right now because it had instructions. Yeah, my dad was on hospice and then my mom was also on hospice. She had Alzheimer's. Yeah, bless you, Amy. That's a tough role, but what a time to be with the family when the family needs it most, and what an angel the nurses are in the hospice world. Yeah, it's definitely. We had when my dad had lung cancer, he ended up with three different types of lung cancer, and his cancer went really quick. He was fine, and then all of a sudden it just went really, really quick, and it ended up going up to his brain, and he had, I think, two times of radiation for his brain before he passed because it's just so quick once it gets up to the brain, that's for sure. Yeah, you don't want him to go, but then you don't want him to be in pain either, and you don't want him to be, the last part of it, Amy, is where they get so disoriented and don't really understand what's going on, and that's such a struggle too. Cancer's a bitch. If I don't want Alzheimer's either, so just, maybe getting hit by a truck wouldn't be so bad. But you know what I meant by that. That was really crass of me to say that. But it is. Cancer is tough. Yeah, I know, right? There's a lot of sticks that you have. I ended up hey Dusty Soda, how are you doing today? Dusty, are you down in Florida? Down with Feral Cheryl? It's probably nice and humid down there right now. Clearwater, yeah. Hey, did you guys ever go over to that Mace Kingsley? Yeah, Liz is definitely one of the reasons why I do this. And when you hear, yeah, hot as hell. When you hear, like a couple of weeks ago when she just broke down after she had the shots, and I'm sure the shots kind of put you through a roller coaster until they even out your emotions and even out the chemicals in your body. And just listening to the raw feelings coming out of that woman just tore me up inside and gave me more passion to continue on doing what I was doing. Yeah, well, even just sneak by and take some pictures for us, Dusty. Even if nobody's out there. Yep, Liz, Lara, Serge, Liz, Gail. One of the stories that, Louis Repetto, oh my goodness, his story just kills me each time also. And Jamie and Jorge, when he was on with that lady named Jenny, I can't remember what her last name is, but she has the channel Cults and Atheists. I don't know if anybody has. Oh, thank you, Dusty. That would be great. Yeah, just crazy. I know Louis Repetto, when he was talking about the basements, and I was reading the other night, that's what I kept thinking of. And then when somebody was saying, yes, they were, um, him and the other person were talking about the gentleman that had MS and the guy that had cancer. Oh, thank you, Nana Sue. I don't feel like a treasure all the time, but I certainly feel like that I could try something or do something. And if I guess my thoughts have always been of, well, what if this doesn't work? But what if it does work? And having that attitude rather than, well, I'm not going to try because it may not work. Well, I am going to try because it may work. And if it does, then wow, then we've done something. Even if we hit them just a little bit of time. Nah, you're the priceless one, Dusty. You're the priceless one. Oh, I had said earlier in Liz's chat when I was listening to her is that we're each a drop of water. And pretty soon all the drops of water are going to turn into a tidal wave and just go over. And I don't know how many of you have ever been near a tidal wave. I've been near a tidal wave, and it is just the wackiest, creepiest thing is all of a sudden all the water goes out of the bay where you're at. And then boom, it comes back in. It is the creepiest thing. When I lived in Alaska along the Cook Inlet, that's the second highest and most volatile tide in the world. The one is in, I think, Japan or China. It's the old story where the thing goes out, they go out and get all the fish, bring them in, and that whole story. But up in Alaska along the Cook Inlet, some days you have, negative 20 tides and positive 40 tides. Hey, Bob, nice to see you too. I mean, it's just incredible. You can have 100-foot tide movement in a single 6-hour time period because you have two highs and two lows each day. And that was always freaky. And actually right where I had my accident, my motorcycle accident, that's where the tide comes in and out. And it's actually quicksand there. And they have signs, every couple of miles saying don't get out onto the sand when the tide goes out because it's quicksand. So, but it's pretty impressive when you see those tidal waves coming back in of how much can be moved by all of those drops of water coming together, how much force and how much impact all that water can have. Hi, Debbie P. How are you doing today? But that's what we need to be. We need to be a tidal wave against Church of Scientology. And each of us putting in one drop of water, one spick at a time, we're going to make a movement. If we keep trying to do just one drop, the drops will just get wiped off. But as long as we keep working together, that's what we need to do. We need to remove the division. Yeah, I happened to see that earlier when he went to Home Depot and he was getting the cost estimate on what all of those bags of concrete would be. Ended up being like $100,000 worth of concrete that they have sitting around. That's quite a bit. It's amazing. There's no way they're using that to just redo the bricks or something. Yeah, they've got to be up to something. I can't wait for Audit LA to look into that to see. I know I looked. I didn't see any permits from what little I know to look, but Audit knows the system a lot better. Or maybe even Sue Percool. She's been the permit person, so maybe she can do some digging around to find out where or if there's anything. Now, one of the things that I had noticed when Audit LA, she had gone down, she was going really slow. The cop was giving her a hard time about not moving. I just love Audit. She cracks me up. So she got all the way to the end, and then she went down and around, went back up, came back down, and on her way back, where the tents were along Fountain, at the very end there on the corner of Fountain and the one that goes north and south, she is fantastic. There was a sinkhole right there where that tent was, right where the very last planter is. And since I use a wheelchair, I'm really cognizant of watching when they're walking and when they're filming down low like that, watching the sidewalks. That was not like that before. That's a new um, like a little sinkhole forming. That's pretty crazy. So I'm kind of wondering if there is something happening on that end of it, because we know there's tunnels down there. That was already a give, and that they would be trying to open them up. But I'm kind of wondering if they do have one that they've expanded the tunnels over to that side and it's not supported right. That would be pretty crazy. That's for sure. But if you watch Audit LA's last video, I mean, I thought she was going to come out of the chair. She hit that dimple, and I know I've almost been thrown out of my chair quite a few times not paying attention and not seeing a crack or a crevice or even a lip in the sidewalk. That's why I'm so cognizant of it, because I'm just so used to looking for it, and I'm used to having to adjust myself in my chair or do a wheelie over a crack or whatever, go around it. So when she hit that and almost came out, I'm like, "Oh, man, I know that wasn't there because I've seen her go over it a zillion times." Yeah. So the other thing is Laura said that they made the at at the Gold Building campground. Dusty, I've done a couple of lives about it, one with John Poe just the other night, and I'm more than happy to talk about the FBI. I didn't I'm really wanting people to step up, to stand up, and what this truly is this is not about individual claims against against Church of Scientology. What it is going around what the Church of Scientology did and how the FBI didn't protect the children of Scientology. The FBI did not afford them due process. And so this claim for the children of Scientology and those that are grown, or if they have children, can file against the FBI to the Department of Justice. And again, as I said, um, yeah, the audit is persistent and deliberate. But being able to use the loophole, no, not yet. I think last I counted, we were at about 35 claims. I'd love to see it over 200. I'd love to see it over 200. Those that can should. If you're afraid, Don't be afraid. You have all of us. I've said this in the past. I really feel like Elisha in the Bible when he goes in for the battle and he's got somebody with him and the guy's going, "No, we can't go in there. We're just gonna get smeared when we go in there. We're gonna get taken out and killed. We'll lose the battle for sure." And so Elisha prays and says, open his eyes so that way he sees all everything that's really true here. So he opens his eyes and all he sees is all the warrior angels standing with him. And so to me, that I feel like we're the background, we're the battleground. We us never-ends and those that are standing with the survivors, we're the people fighting with them. Someone found there's an investigation into unpermitted construction dated 6/4, 2-foot charges, 2 charges. Somebody may have already put. Yeah, definitely. If somebody has access to get into that investigation, that'd be really cool if you could do a live or make a post. You, well, I pray for the protesters all the time too, because it's exhausting. And if you don't see movement or if you don't see anybody going forward, the burnout rate it would be just horrible. I mean, look how much the like Jeffrey Augustine and um who I'm trying to think who's the guy that was always in the mask and um Mark, the council member down in Clearwater, and there's just been so much done in the past, even Tori Magoo way back when, or Tori Christensen. There was so much done in the past, and then it just kind of went flat for a while. Mark Bunker, thank you, Cajun. So yeah, I mean, it's just so much happens, and then you don't see anything, and then the exhaustion sets in. Anonymous, thanks, CJ. Hey, Clearwater, Chad, how are you tonight? There's trouble. Got a couple of Clearwater, Cultwater people in here tonight. So we don't need burnout. We need to make sure, take the time, take some breaths when all of this shit happens, all of this divisiveness starts happening. Just remember what the focus is. I'm doing really wonderful tonight. How are you doing, Chad? I was on your live for a little while this morning, Clearwater, Chad. Thank you, Danya. I'll definitely, yeah, that's what I was talking about is that little dip. Yay, it's your first live. It might have been from that cement truck. But yeah, that would be really cool if somebody had the wherewithal to be able to get in there. Yeah, Poe on the go, and I believe Sir Crepitus are going at 8 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock Pacific, and they're going to talk about the judges. I'm going to let them have their say on that. I have a little bit that I can chime in on when we get there. But yeah, it's just so weird how everything fits together in some ways, and there's puzzle pieces, but in other ways, it's like, are you just assuming the puzzle pieces are fitting together? Do they really fit together? Can you trust it? Yep, in an hour and a half. It's just really it's hard to know who to trust anymore. Yeah, I do. W I trust Sir Crepitus. I know he's good for his information. I know Poe on the Go is good for his information because 'cause they're gonna tell me like it is. They're gonna tell me whether I'm right or wrong. They're gonna tell me whether a cop is right or wrong or the judicial system. They don't hold back. Yeah, I did too because I don't want the division. I don't want somebody to tell me what I can and can't believe. I wanna gather all the information. That's what I'm really good at, is gathering information, you can see that. And that's what I wanna do is I wanna gather all my information, make my own mind. I wanna know that, and then if I make a wrong decision or if I think, um, and lose my trust with somebody, then that's on me. I agree with you, Helen. I totally agree with you. Trust is the biggest issue right now because no one wants to feel like they've been betrayed. I get you. I completely agree. Uh, who wants egg on their face to know? It does seem like he's in a lot of pain. I have reached out to him. I don't know if he got my email. I'm sure he's probably got a zillion emails sitting there. Um, it, it's tough. He's probably, and I'm just surmising, but uh, it's probably he's in a place where he's never had the feeling of a love before. And Lara is feeling that maybe he loves her. And then all of this on top of it, a relationship's hard enough to begin with. But then you throw this kind of chaos into it. Well, it's either going to make you have a stronger bond or not, right? But it certainly is. It, with him, I think maybe some of it might be a little bit self-inflicted. Oh, I would love to do that. 9 p.m. Eastern. Could you send me a link for that, Bob? I would love to join. I would love to be a part of that. Bob, you can email me a link if you don't want to put it in here. Oops, let me try that again here. That is my email, and I don't mind getting email. Oh, okay. Well, no worries then. No worries whatsoever. If there's no organization, then I'll just take the time at 9 o'clock to do that. Yeah, we all do. They've been Natalie's been an integral part of the family, of bringing us all together and giving us the updates every day. And she has a good way of bringing that out and then watching Tony be her love. You're welcome, Rally. I wish I could do more. I really, really, really can't wait until I can get out there. I want to go down to the Detroit org and Poe on the Go and I go down to the Detroit org and do some streaming out in front of that. We would love to have a barbecue down there. That would be a blast. I know he was talking about the other night about possibly going over to Grand Rapids, and that's a couple of hours away for me. Of course, Detroit is too, but Grand Rapids is a little bit further. That's over on the west side of the state. But yeah, I'd like to go down to the Detroit area. Maybe next time I have to go down to the airport because that's where everybody flies in and out of. I'll take the time to stop by there. Yep, so 9 o'clock it'll be on my list to take the time to do that. What are your thoughts? Any questions about what's been going on with all the confusion? I know as I said, I've got people I know I do trust, and I won't back off of those. I just know in my heart and to be able to trust them. You have to have. You can't mistrust everybody. Not only is that a shame, but that would be tough to spend your life that way. It is I kind of always bring that back to yeah. Yeah, I you do have to have grace. You have to give grace, especially for those that are hurt. That's what I was just going to say is having to go back to, a lot of these people have had so much hurt in their lives and so much pain, so much rejection, dejection, and I just can't imagine them learning to trust somebody. What if you can't stop shaking your left leg? Well, if that's a serious question, then you might want to go see a neurologist. If it isn't a serious question and you're just trolling me, then maybe make some good use out of it. I don't know. Well, it definitely keeps me out of trouble too. And it keeps me occupied while I'm stuck in here. As I was saying earlier before anybody got on, I actually got out of bed for a little while today and went wheeling around and went to go see what was in the kitchen and in the fridge and was gonna go outside, but I just kinda got too tired out and had to come back in. But, yeah. You're welcome. Well, as I said, I don't know if you're serious or not, but I've had, s my fair share with the trolls or trolls in other chats, and it is amazing what they come up with sometimes. Yeah, Dusty, I mean, you're right. I don't feel that it's my right to tell you or somebody else's right to tell me who I can and can't trust. Well, it might be a good thing, Kathy Barassa. Might be a good thing that you took a break and didn't hear it and didn't see it. It's pretty crazy. If you want to get on the merry-go-round, go take a look at some of the. But oh, you're stalkerish now, Minna? Yeah, it's been one of those days, that's for sure. Raleigh says a lot of people, the Neverins, never really understood what was going on until now. I, I kind of have to agree with that. I know I've heard And when we were reading that RPF Insider, when you hear of the stuff that's going on, it's a lot different than seeing it going on or reading it. I kind of related that insider newsletter to like an old Anne Frank diary. Like, that's so crazy that you're reading it from way back then, dated way back when. Kathy, I'm with you. I think they just need to sit down and figure it out. And the other thing that I kind of related it to is when you're around a couple, a man and a man, a man and a woman, two people, and they're bickering back and forth and they're fighting, and you try and take sides, and then all of a sudden they get back together and you're the bad person. So it's the same way I feel that this is going to happen in the SP community, in our community, is that everybody's going to kiss and make up, and then those that decided to take sides are the ones that are going to be left holding the bag. No, yep, never get in the middle. Yeah, right. It's like looking in a bowl of spaghetti and trying to follow all the different strands. Yeah, because it just goes everywhere. And just when you think you have something, boop, nope, that's not it. It's the other way around. Oh, well, I just wanted to get on and give my heartfelt prayers and thoughts to Natalie and Tony. And I wanted to see if anybody wanted to give opinions or discussion about all the craziness that's been going on. We don't need any more craziness. We all need to be focused on and take a side. We are taking a side of getting rid of the Church of Scientology. That's the side I am on. And if that means that I need to ignore somebody or do something different for a little bit, that's what I'm going to do. No more kids in Scientology because kids cannot consent. Amen, Mena. Amen. That's exactly right. So I'm going to go because I'm going to need to go get a few things done before the 8 o'clock. I know it gives me another hour and 15 minutes here, an hour and 10 minutes, but it'll give me enough time. Yep. I love you all, and I'm going to end the stream. We'll see you at 8 o'clock over on you are too, Nana Sue. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great evening.